Chosen one, what I'm about to say is not for everyone. This message is not casual, it's not comfortable. It is divine, urgent, and filled with truth. If you are watching this right now, it is no accident. It is no coincidence. God has drawn you here because something massive is shifting in your life. He said, it's all starting because of you. The spiritual dominoes are falling. The breakthrough is already in motion. And yes, you are the reason. You've endured isolation, rejection, confusion. You've cried behind closed doors, questioned your worth, and wondered if God even saw you. But He did. And now, He cannot hold back your reward any longer. You've paid a price in silence. You stood in faith when it made no sense. And heaven is declaring, you are done waiting, now comes your reward. Not next year, not someday, now. This is not just a season of blessing, it is a spiritual eruption. What has been held back is being released. What has been delayed is being delivered. You are not stepping into it, you're already in it. But you must understand that this requires alignment. You cannot carry old mindsets into this new manifestation. This is the shift you've been waiting for. But before we go any further, I want you to do 3 things because this moment carries power. First, like this video to seal your agreement. Second, subscribe and join this move of God. We are reaching 1,000 chosen ones. And lastly, comment the number 99 to release the energy of divine alignment over your life. This number is not random, it is a prophetic signal, a spiritual activation. And listen, if you are truly a chosen one, you will watch this video until the end. Your spirit already knows this is your moment. But if you are not ready for what's about to be revealed, you may not make it through. This is not a hype message. It is both a heavenly warning and a divine reward wrapped into one. So take a deep breath, lock in, because everything is about to change. God said, it's all starting because of you, not your neighbor, not your pastor, not some distant figure with more credentials or clout. You. While others were sleeping, you were wrestling. While others complained, you trusted. You stood in the fire and declared, though he slays me, yet will I trust him. And heaven heard every whisper. You didn't just survive the valley, you transformed in it. You were built differently. You cried silently and still showed up with a smile. You had nothing, yet you gave everything. And that didn't go unnoticed. Listen closely. You've created a heavenly pressure, and even God has declared, I cannot hold back your reward anymore. The test was divine, but now the reward is overdue. Your obedience has initiated a divine eruption. This is personal. This is prophetic. This is final. The calendar in heaven has your name highlighted in gold. July 6th, July 9th, July 10th. These aren't just dates. They are divine appointments. Doors are about to open because of your legacy of faith. Miracles will move at the sound of your name, not because you begged, but because you believed. And now, everything is about to shift because of you. You've been through enough, and deep down, you know it. The silent nights, the betrayals that crushed your heart, the moments when you felt abandoned even by God. These were all parts of the fire, but they didn't destroy you. No, they forged you. Now, God says, the testing season is over. Now comes the crowning. You've graduated from the wilderness. You didn't lose your mind. You didn't curse God. You passed. Let me be clear, heaven doesn't crown pretenders. It crowns survivors, overcomers, and warriors. And that's exactly who you are. You didn't just endure the storm. You carried peace through it. You walked through heartbreak and didn't let bitterness take root. You held on, even when everything inside of you screamed to give up. God saw it all, the sleepless nights, the whispered prayers, the faith that looked foolish to others, and now, it's your coronation. This isn't just symbolic. This is supernatural recognition. What's coming is not just a reward, it's divine elevation. You are about to sit in rooms you never even applied to be in. You're about to wear favor, like a robe, because when the testing is done, the king places a crown, and this time, it's not temporary, it's eternal. Get ready, because you're not being tested anymore. You're being crowned. Mark it boldly. Circle July 6th, write it on your mirror, tattoo it on your spirit. This is the day where financial chains break. The drought is over. The weight you've carried, the robbing Peter to pay Paul, the constant fight just to survive is being lifted. Why? Because you kept giving when you had nothing left. You were generous even when you were gasping for breath. And God says, now, I'm about to overwhelm you with overflow. This isn't hype. This is heaven's calendar in motion. You've entered a divine window where provision will no longer be a problem. New resources, fresh contracts, and surprising deposits, they are on the way. But it's more than just money. It's freedom from debt, freedom from fear, freedom from the cycle of survival. July 6th isn't just a date, it's the beginning of a new financial identity. Get ready to walk into rooms where your last bank statement no longer defines your worth. Abundance is coming. The blessings aren't trickling in, they are flooding. You didn't chase wealth, you chased God. And now, wealth is about to chase you. Mark the date, speak it aloud, declare it daily. July 6th is your financial breakout. July 9th, something deep is going to erupt, but not outside of you, in you. Your soul has been yearning for clarity. You've cried, God, show me why I'm here. You've been walking with a foggy vision, burdened with questions that you can't even put into words. But on July 9th, the clouds are going to lift, and the fire will fall. Your soul will awaken to divine purpose. This is more than spiritual hype. This is alignment. Your spirit has been calling for a deeper connection, and heaven has scheduled your awakening. The confusion, the internal battles, the mental fatigue, God is breaking it off. You're going to see clearly, hear deeply, and walk boldly. This will be like receiving new spiritual eyes, the same you, but with new sight, new sound, and new power. Don't underestimate what this means. This spiritual awakening isn't just for your growth, it's for your assignment. Once you awaken, you activate others. You become the signal to those who are still asleep. You're not just getting a breakthrough, you are becoming one. July 9th will mark the day your soul remembers why it was born. On July 10th, the realm around you will shift. You may not see it with your eyes, but you'll feel it in the energy, in the atmosphere, and in the people around you. God is cleansing your realm. Every voice, every relationship, every room that has been dimming your light will either be realigned or removed. This isn't punishment, it's positioning. God is creating space for what is about to be birthed in your life. Some people can't go where you're going. Some environments were fine for the old version of you, but they can't survive the next level. You're not being isolated, you're being elevated. And with elevation comes separation. Don't cry over what God clears out. Trust the process. You've been praying for peace. Well, here it comes. It begins with a supernatural realm reset. This cleansing is holy. You'll feel lighter, the clutter gone, the confusion lifted, and the distractions swept away. It will feel like a divine wind is blowing through your life, sweeping away anything that can't carry the oil of the next season. July 10th will mark the day the air around you changes. And when the atmosphere shifts, everything will follow. There is a moment in heaven when the clock strikes now, when all your prayers, your obedience, all the pain you've endured, stacks up like thunderclouds about to burst. And even God says, I will not delay this any longer. That moment is here. You've passed every test, the secret ones no one saw, the silent ones that nearly crushed your spirit, the painful ones that broke your heart but refined your soul. And now the results are in. You passed. Understand this, delay is not denial, but even delay has an expiration date, and yours just hit. You didn't just get through life. You passed through fire, betrayal, and tight places that suffocated others. You stood firm when running away seemed easier. You prayed when it made no logical sense, and heaven has said, enough. The breakthrough is now. This child of mine is faithful. Release their recompense. This next move in your life isn't about favor by chance, it's favor by proof. Your track record in the Spirit has built undeniable credibility before the throne of God. Even if you don't feel worthy, God sees your resume of endurance. And now, there is no power in hell, no person on earth, no delay in the heavens that can stop what's coming. You've passed every test, and now the reward is on its way. Nothing can stop it. Let me be clear. What's coming isn't just a breakthrough, it's divine payback. A breakthrough sets you free, but payback gives you more than what was stolen. And child of God, you've lost a lot: time, trust, money, relationships, and peace. The enemy came in hard, but he forgot one thing. God keeps records. Every seed you planted, every tear you cried, every injustice you endured, it's all been noted. Heaven has been taking account, and now God is getting even on your behalf. The scale is tipping. This is more than recovery. It's a spiritual repayment plan from the courts of heaven. God says, I saw what they took. I heard what they said. I counted what it cost you. And now, I will restore not just what was lost, but double. That's the God you serve. Not just a healer, not just a redeemer, but a restorer of all things. You're about to see doors open that should have opened years ago. Opportunities that bypassed you are circling back. Favor that was blocked is now flowing freely. Why? Because payback is heaven's justice. You didn't take revenge. You didn't retaliate. You trusted God. And now, He's moving with divine precision. This isn't breakthrough. This is compensation. Confusion has been your unwanted companion for too long. One day you're up. The next you're unsure. You've questioned yourself. You've second-guessed your purpose. You've wondered if you missed it, if you're too late, if you failed. But hear me clearly, confusion ends now. Not next week, not next year. Now God is about to release divine direction so sharp, so clear, you'll wonder why you ever doubted. There's a wave of divine clarity sweeping over your mind. All the fog will lift, the dead-end decisions, the heartbreak loops, the cycles have almost done their ending. You're not crazy, you're not behind. You were simply in the hallway, between purpose and power. But now, the doors are opening. God is turning your why me into now I see. Direction is coming clear. Precise direction not just for your calling, but for your career, your relationships, your finances, your habits. You won't have to guess anymore. You won't have to force it. God is giving you clarity, ideas, instructions, confirmations. Watch how they begin to show up, because confusion can't live where destiny has been declared. And in your life, destiny is being announced loud and clear. You've carried so much for so long, the pressure, the weight, the quiet. You've carried the weight no one saw. You've been strong, not because you wanted to be, but because you had no choice. And now, God says, enough. You've borne enough. The burden is being lifted, and in its place, a downpour from heaven is coming. This is the moment where your endurance becomes overflow, where your pain is traded for provision, where your silence is met with celebration. God is not cruel, He is just, and He's about to show you that all you're carrying was not in vain. There's oil coming from your crushing, power coming from your pressure, and breakthrough coming from your burden. Heaven is pouring down, a trickle, but a waterfall of favor. It will touch your mind, your house, your body, your finances, your relationships. You were carrying weights, but now you'll carry glory. You were carrying responsibilities, but now you'll carry results. You've carried long enough. Now, it's time to receive. Let this hit debut are the reason heaven is moving right now. It wasn't a preacher. It wasn't a trend. It wasn't luck. It was your faith, quiet, raw, stubborn faith. The kind that shows up with no applause. The kind that prays with no proof. The kind that believes with no backup plan. That faith triggered something in the heavens. You didn't know it, but your yes, in the dark, moved angels. Your trust in uncertainty made heaven stand at attention. You are the trigger. God moves when faith shows up, and your life has been a daily altar of faith-filled sacrifice. Even in fear, you obeyed. Even in doubt, you believed. And now, the heavens are responding to your spiritual signal. Expect acceleration. Expect answered prayers. Expect supernatural alignment. Not because you manipulated it, but because you believed for it. Your faith set it all in motion, and now heaven can't stop moving on your behalf. There are moments in time when everything shifts, and this is one of them. You're not just in a new season, you're in your appointed time. This moment was circled by God before you were even born. All the delays are broken, all the cycles are finished, all the not yet has turned into now. This is your moment. You've waited, you've cried, you've questioned, but the wait didn't weaken you, it strengthened you. And now, divine timing is colliding with divine promise. You will no longer chase what belongs to you. It's coming by divine appointment, on time, in full, and completely undeniable. This isn't just a new chapter, it's a whole new book. The story shifts now. You're not chasing prophecy anymore. You're living in fulfillment. Watch how fast things move now, because when the appointed time arrives, delay loses all its power. This is that time. You didn't serve for the spotlight. You weren't faithful for applause. But let me tell you, God is about to reward you publicly. All the years people misunderstood you, underestimated you, and overlooked you now, God is about to make it known. You were always chosen. The reward won't be hidden. It will be seen by all. This is the season where your private obedience becomes public recognition. Your integrity is about to be honored. Your quiet loyalty is about to be echoed. God is placing you on platforms not for fame, but for confirmation. He's showing the world what happens when someone stays faithful, and no one will be able to deny it. Your rise will be undeniable, not manufactured, but miraculous. Those who doubted you will have no choice but to say, "Surely, the Lord was with them." Get ready, because He's about to put you on display as proof of what faith can do. These dates from July 6th to July 10th are not ordinary. They are a divine setup, a heavenly intersection, and the enemy knows it. That's why distractions will intensify. Random arguments, old temptations, sudden doubts, these will all try to pull your eyes off the path. But hear me, don't get distracted. This is not the time to scroll endlessly, to lose focus, to disconnect from your spirit. This is the moment to tune in. Heaven is speaking. Angels are aligning. Opportunities are knocking. But you must stay spiritually locked in. Don't let your focus be stolen now. Not when you're this close. If you knew what was behind these next few days, you would treat them like sacred ground. Fast, pray, reflect, and watch. From July 6th through 10th, this will be the most pivotal window of your year, maybe even your life. Don't waste it on distractions. Stay present, stay alert, stay faithful. This is more than a seasonal shift, it's a realm shift. Seasons are temporary, but realms are dimensions. You're being elevated into a space where the old rules no longer apply. You won't just be blessed, you'll operate on a different frequency, heaven's frequency. This new realm will demand more of you, but it will also deliver more to you. You'll walk in spiritual authority. You'll speak, and results will follow. You'll command peace in chaos. You won't just survive battles, you'll shift atmospheres. That's the power of realm access. And you're walking into it. Don't try to bring old habits into a new realm. Let go, level up, step in. You've been called higher not for ego, but for assignment. Not for status, but for impact. This is not a promotion of popularity, it's a promotion of power. You've crossed over. Welcome to your new realm. Get ready, because what's about to happen will feel like someone rewrote your entire story. And that someone is God Himself. The struggle, the pain, the delays, they were all the introduction. But now, the author has picked up his pen again, and he's rewriting everything. Your future will not look like your past. Your identity is being redefined. Your path is being repaved, and when people look at your life, they won't see your life as about to look unrecognizable in the best way. That's what happens when God takes over the pen. Every broken sentence is being transformed into a beautiful story of glory. Every rejected chapter is now turning into revival. Don't be surprised when your life starts unfolding like never before. This isn't just a revision, it's a complete rewrite. And by the time God's done, every scar will become a symbol. Every trial will stand as a testimony, and every valley will echo with victory. There's a version of you that God was always waiting for. Not the broken, unsure, doubting version, but the refined, awakened, unshakable you. The version that doesn't need outside approval to obey God. The version that doesn't flinch when doors close. Because you know the gatekeeper is your Father. Heaven has patiently waited for you to become this person. And now that you've arrived, everything begins. God didn't deny your blessings before. He was waiting until you were strong enough to carry them, until your soul had roots deep enough to hold the weight of your future. Now, finally, you're not just surviving storms, you're commanding them. And that's the version heaven rewards. You're not reactive anymore. You're prophetic. You're not desperate. You're deliberate. The realm of destiny doesn't open to everyone. It opens to those who pass the invisible tests. Tests of character, humility, and alignment. You've passed them all. So now, the gates of promise, favor, opportunity, and supernatural clarity are opening because you've become who you needed to be. This version of you doesn't chase, you attract. This version doesn't beg, you believe. And now, with this upgraded identity, you will see accelerated answers, explosive favor, and divine direction flow like never before. God didn't reject you, He was preserving you. And now that the real you has emerged, heaven is unlocking the vault that's had your name on it the whole time. Most people never knew the weight of your obedience, the sacrifices you made in secret, the temptations you said no to. Temptations no one would have blamed you for, but heaven saw. And every time you obeyed in private, you were unlocking public blessings. You didn't chase stages, you built altars. And now, God is about to reward you in front of the very people who thought nothing was happening. Your silence wasn't weakness, it was strength. You weren't lazy, You were building foundations. You weren't missing out. You were tuning in. Every hidden prayer, every tithe given in secret, every fast done without boasting, all of it counted. And now, the reward is being poured out in public. Not to make you famous, but to prove that obedience still works. God is going to do it so big, so boldly, that even your enemies will be forced to say, "Surely the Lord has done this." You won't have to explain yourself anymore. Your life will speak. Your fruit will silence every doubt, and when people ask how it happened, you'll say it was obedience when no one was watching. This kind of blessing can't be manufactured. It can't be photoshopped or copied. It's divine compensation, and it's coming with speed, power, and undeniable confirmation. Your secret sacrifices have just triggered your public celebration. You've looked around and felt like others were getting ahead while you were standing still. But let this hit your spirit. You were never behind. You were hidden for protection, hidden for preparation, hidden until the exact second heaven was ready to unveil you. And that moment has come. The unveiling begins now. God doesn't launch greatness without secrecy. Moses was hidden. David was in the field. Jesus was in the carpenter shop. And you were being shaped in silence. But while the world thought you were idle, heaven was crafting a masterpiece. You weren't being delayed. You were being developed. And now, the stage is set. Suddenly, doors will open. People will discover you, but they'll be late to the revelation. God always knew who you were. Now, He's bringing you from the background to the front, from the waiting room to the war room. The things you thought were missed opportunities were actually divine detours, positioning you perfectly. So release the lie that you're late. God has synchronized your season. You're right on time for what's yours. Now that the moment is here, it will unfold with such rapid momentum that even you will say, "I finally understand the wait." Nothing in your life was random. Not the delays, the rejections, the heartbreaks, or the lonely nights. Every delay had a divine design. Every moment you thought was wasted, God was building something behind the scenes. There were no accidents, only alignments. The delay protected you from the wrong relationships, the wrong timing, the wrong opportunities. God knew if He gave it to you too soon, it would have become a burden, not a blessing. He was maturing your discernment, training your spirit, and sharpening your hearing. You thought you were losing, but you were gaining unseen strength. You cried for fast results, but God was preparing a permanent reward. He's not the God of shortcuts. He's the God of solid foundations. And while others sprinted, you were being built to run the long race without breaking. The delay has only increased the depth of your authority. Now that the wait is over, everything will make sense. You'll see the hand of God woven into every chapter, and you'll thank Him not just for the blessings, but for the delays that preserved your purpose. Stop stressing. Stop trying to figure it all out. Here's the truth. Your next step is already written. God has gone before you. The provision is in place. The opportunity is ready. The divine appointment is set. All you have to do now is walk. Faith doesn't need the full picture. It needs motion. If you move in faith, even with trembling hands and an unsure heart, you'll find yourself in places only God could have scripted. This next chapter isn't about striving, it's about surrender. The ground has been cleared. Now it's time to claim it. This is where you move from wandering to walking, from confusion to clarity, from pressure to peace. You've waited long enough. Now, the strategy of heaven is about to unfold with every step you take. Trust the direction. Even if you can't see the full map, you have the compass of peace. Follow it, and watch how fast things line up. Watch how favor follows your feet. Watch how every what if becomes a thank you. Lord, you don't need to perform. You just need to proceed. The path is already blessed. Right now, behind doors you've never walked through, your name is being mentioned, not by your own doing, but by God's divine setup. Conversations are happening. People are looking for someone with your exact experience, voice, anointing, and presence. You are about to be summoned. This is the favor that finds you, the kind you didn't network for, the kind you didn't audition for. Because when God speaks your name into the ears of influencers, leaders, and gatekeepers, no man can shut the door. You're not being hyped, you're being positioned. And it's happening right now. You may feel like nothing is moving, but in the spirit realm, there's divine buzz surrounding you. Heaven has placed a spotlight on your name. And when the right time comes, you'll receive the email, the call, the introduction, and you'll know this is the moment God mentioned me. Don't be surprised when things begin to happen out of nowhere. It's not luck. It's no coincidence. It's divine conversation reaching earthly manifestation. Your name has gone forth, and the world is about to hear it. You can't stay small because the oil on your life is too valuable. You've been through too much. You've survived too much. You've grown through fires that others didn't walk out of. And now, that oil must flow. You weren't preserved to hide. You were preserved to lead. There's a divine mandate on your life. The anointing on you was never meant to stay in the shadows. God is going to expand your reach, your voice, your impact, not for ego, but for assignment. You were not born to play it safe. You were born to carry glory. Every crushing you endured added value to your oil. Every betrayal added purity. Every loss added depth. So now, when you speak, atmospheres will shift. When you create, heaven will breathe through it. You're not just talented, you're anointed. So stop trying to shrink. Stop apologizing for your presence. It's time to pour. The oil on your life has an audience, and they are waiting for your obedience to set them free. The level you're about to step into will not accept the old version of you. It will demand deeper discipline, greater clarity, and unwavering obedience. But here's the good news. You're ready. Everything you've gone through has been training for this moment. You can't afford to carry old habits, small thinking, or half-hearted effort into this next place. This level has no room for comfort zones. But the pain taught you. The fire matured you. The weight trained you. You're not walking in as a novice. You're walking in as a warrior. Don't let fear disguise itself as humility. You're not being prideful. You're being obedient. And when God calls you higher, He also equips you fully. Every tool, every resource, every answer you need will meet you at the next level. So step forward. Don't delay. This next realm has been crying out for the version of you that finally believes, fully surrenders, and walks boldly. You've become that version. Now, take the step. You're not just here because you worked hard or got lucky. You're the answer to prayers prayed generations ago. Your ancestors didn't have what you have, but they cried out for someone in the bloodline to rise. That someone is you. You carry their breakthrough. You walk with their dreams in your DNA. Their tears became seeds, and you are the harvest. This moment isn't random. It's the culmination of a spiritual legacy. You were born to break curses, shift narratives, and reset the bloodline. That's why it's been hard. That's why the warfare was so intense. Because what you're carrying doesn't just affect you, it liberates generations. You were never fighting for just yourself. Your obedience is generational. So wear the mantle proudly. You are the manifestation of their cries and heaven's answer. The story they began, you will finish. In the past, doors opened only to slam shut. Opportunities came but slipped away. But this time, you're not entering with just hope, you're entering with heaven's key. The kind that opens doors no man can shut. You won't have to force it. You won't have to knock 20 times. This key is favor, access, and authority. It's the divine evidence that you are sent, not just sent for. When you walk in now, you'll walk in backed by heaven. No more striving, no more begging, no more near misses. The key fits this time because it was carved in the spirit for this specific door, and you've been given it because you've proven trustworthy. So go ahead, turn the handle, step in. This door will not close, because this time, you're not just visiting, you're taking territory. Every time life tried to break you, it unknowingly handed you a piece of the blueprint. The betrayal gave you discernment. The rejection gave you redirection. The financial drought taught you supernatural trust. You thought you were losing ground, but you were actually laying the foundation for legacy. What hurt you most taught you the most, and now the design is complete. You see, God doesn't build with comfort. He builds with character. The pressure, the losses, the silent nights, they were all part of your architectural process. You were in the hands of the master builder, and every broken brick became a building block. The blueprint of your future is not flawless, it's faith-forged now. The building begins. What once looked like ruins is now revealed as refined strategy. What was meant to destroy you is now the very design that distinguishes you. You carry wisdom that others pay to learn. You carry power forged in silence.